Okay, so we have previously gone through and talked about identifying communion and vampirism inside of the text, and now we're going to go and move on to our writing response portion. Anytime that you have a constructed response or a writing response question, we want you guys to go through the race strategy, which, the R, the A, the C, and the E each mean one step that you should take every single time. Let's look at our question. How does Foster's idea of communion or vampirism contribute to relaying the theme of the text? So the first step, the first R, is read and restate, which if you see it, I've placed it for you right here. Okay? So the first question that I'm going to do, and if I'm looking at read and restate, there's basically a 3-step process to doing this step. The first is you have to know what is the question asking me. Too often, we don't think this through fully. We don't fully understand what we're being asked. And so we answer the question wrong, even though we know the right answer. So let's look at this together. How does Foster's idea of communion or vampirism contribute to relaying the theme of the text? So I know that it's asking me to look at Foster. So I'm going to look at Foster. It is going to be asking me about communion. Or is the key word. I need to make sure I get that. Or vampirism. And I'm going to abbreviate that so it fits. So I'm either looking at one or the other. And then it's asking me how one of those two things help relay theme. And I know that theme is basically a universal truth or life lesson that I hear from the text. So that's the first part. I now understand that I'm looking at Foster's idea of either communion or vampirism to explain what the theme of the text is. How does it contribute to the understanding of theme? So what are some key words that I should be looking at? Well, if I'm looking up here at this, I'm going to just use the highlighter to save us some space. So I know that I need Foster. I'm going to need communion or vampirism. For me, I'm going to choose to write a communion piece. And then I need to know the theme, contribute, and relaying. And of course, text. So I know it's about Foster, communion, contribute, relaying, theme, or text. If I had chosen to, instead of doing communion, to go with vampirism, then I would have highlighted that one instead of the other one. So basically that means that when I'm rewriting this as a sentence starter, I know that I'm not going to put both of those ideas in, one or the other. So now what I want to do from this point is take this question and turn it into the sentence starter using the key words that I just saw. Okay? And as I told you guys yesterday, or in the previous lesson, is that during this specific stage of writing, I am not overly worried about grammatical issues and that kind of thing. What I want right now is just to get the ideas out of my head and onto paper. Anytime that you write a paper or any kind of writing assignment, it should almost always be a 2-draft thing. That's why we like the iPad. You can type it out first and then go back and make your corrections, kind of like we would caught your grammar. So the very first thing I'm put on paper is not going to be perfect. So how can I rewrite the question as a sentence starter? So I'm going to say, hold on. Let's not do that. So I'm going to go here first. I'm going to get a pen back. So that, that's the highlighter. Wait a second. Nope. And we'll go here. No, wait, we won't go there. We'll go here. Okay. So I will say communion, if I can spell it right. Wait, hold on. Woohoo, just kidding. Let's try this again. Okay, yes. So Foster's idea of communion contributes to the theme Foster's idea of communion contributes to the theme of beauty and the Beast by ... And once again, this is a rough draft. I very well may go back and change this up a little bit, but I've got every piece just about that I said I wanted. The only word I left out was relaying, and I felt like that would just make it overly wordy. So Foster's idea of communion contributes to the theme of Beauty and the Beast by ... Which means that now, when I get to the second step of the phrase, which is answering the question, I will finish this sentence with the information that I feel is most prevalent from the text. So right now, you are going to look at the Scarlet Letter, and you're going to you're answering the same question as I am, only you're answering it for Beauty and the Beast. And you're going to create a starter question to answer that question, or a sentence starter, to answer that question. Okay? So go ahead, you're going to go to Canvas and do it as a discussion, and once you've got past this point, then I will come back in again and we'll walk through the answering the question piece.